Okay, great morning. Now, with all the Epstein stuff going on, the Texas debacle that just happened, we're still over 100 people, over 100 dead, and still a lot of people were missing. So what's happening in Texas? Because that's just dropped off the face of the map. When it comes to FEMA, when it comes to finding those that are still missing, I want to know, can you tell us what's happening in Texas? So underneath of it all, we have judgment. Readings about judgment. Energy coming into it is a big burden, not a surprise. What's going on now? They're still moving forward, okay? Still out there looking. Still looking for people, looking for bodies. The challenge is this charging forward, continuing to take action. Potential outcomes, still this abuse of power. The abuse of power, controlling and outside influence. It's based on his whims, okay, what they're trying to sell. So most of it going on is still the actions taking place over there. But the outcome is still the abuse of power. They're not getting the help they need, okay? They're walking away when it comes to asking for aid, is what it shows. At potential outcome, yeah, good luck. Good luck with actually getting help, getting FEMA. Because why? It's based on what? What he's selling. We don't need no stinking FEMA. The states can take care of it themselves. So let's look and see what the cards have to say. So when it comes to the reading, it's about judgment. What about judgment when it comes to the Texas that's going on? They're pushed to the edge. They're feeling really pushed to the edge with this. Trying to defend, trying to go forward. And yeah, they're just feeling this is the dark, dark energy. They're chained. Judgment. They're not getting the help they need. Okay? FEMA did not show up when they needed it. She waited 3 days. She's got to personally sign everything. It's a nightmare. So the judgment is we are under a dark cloud. We are under this mismanaged. We're pushed to the edge when it comes to this dark administration. So again, the energy coming into it is a burden that they're stuck with now. Okay? And they're battling. They're still battling this. They're on the edge. They're still battling. And when it comes to, this emotional thing and democracy and just trying to hold it together emotionally, I think the overriding thing for them is feeling embattled, okay, and burdened, and that they are under the rulership of a dark force. So what's happening today? They're still taking action, still looking, still searching. They're not done yet. It's affecting their whole dynamic, their whole world. And they see, again, the administration is just trying to get away with this nonsense. Looking over their shoulder, shoulda, woulda, coulda, that's not helping this situation, okay? Not helping. So the challenge is continuing forward, continuing actions, and they feel like they're just being manipulated, okay? Yeah, when it comes to them holding on to funds, etc., they're not getting the help they need. Okay, withholding funds, etc. The potential outcome is this abuse of power, control, the craziness, the insanity that's going on with that, and juggling the money. Okay? They're being abused. We need help. The outside influence is a tower moment. Yeah, his big idea, get rid of FEMA. It's a tower moment for them. They're constrained. They're restricted. Okay? And it's facing absolute loss. The overarching thing with all of this is absolute loss. They're not getting the help, tempering. It's the nightmare scenario when it comes to all the dead. And not getting the help that they need. Okay? So this was put on the back burner. And it's all about this mental restriction, abuse, the swords, the tower moment. Because they don't think we need FEMA. Facing all this loss. Very little to recover. They've lost more than they've got. So if we look at the reading, the judgment, the abuse of power, money being juggled by this dark drama. Okay, you got the dark drama, fueling the emotions, trying to get away with it, clinging on to the money and trying to juggle it. She's got control of it. They're feeling pushed to the edge, continuing to battle, affecting the world, the manipulation, and just this, insanity that they're facing. The judgment is the burden, trying to go forward, trying to charge forward, and feeling this abuse of power. So the very center of it is the world, affecting their world. They're feeling embattled and manipulated. Going forward, they see that them trying to get away with this nonsense. They're burdened because she's clinging to the money, and just a lot of emotional overload when it comes to them continuing to go forward. They're feeling embattled, pushed to the edge in their world. Again, the whole burden of emotional overload that this is causing the people. A lot of judgment about feeling embattled and the things that the Trump administration is trying to get away with. The theft. And again, embattled when it comes to going forward and having to deal with the dark drama that they're doing. When it comes to the manipulations of it. The world, they just see this is insane. Okay? When it comes to the actual moving forward, battling for the energy, she's clinging on to the funds. And the manipulation, trying to get away with this abuse of power that they're doing. And when it comes to going forward again, the manipulation, things are being juggled. Okay? They're not getting the help, they're not getting the finances, they're not getting the things that they need. And above it all, they have just totally faced this loss. So let's go ahead and do a clarifying read and see what else it's going to tell us about this situation, which is, miraculously just gone off the radar when it comes to Texas. This big, huge loss of life. Let's see what it says about that. what can you tell us about what's going on or not going on in Texas, as the case may be? What is happening there? The center of it all, feeling restricted. They're absolutely feeling restricted. You know, lost of the water, but they're still tied. When it comes to the message of what's being offered up financially, etc., and what's being built, how it's being built, they're restricted. They get a bunch of lies, a bunch of spin, okay? Strong. Okay? Strong lies being put out. What they're trying to rebuild in America, okay? What's being birthed. When it comes to the restriction, mental restriction, they're trying to figure out how to go forward. What's the next move? What can we do? The White House. The White House is continuing to strengthen the lies. They just see all this other stuff coming out from the White House and they're being left in the lurch. Okay, it's affecting their world with what's being built. And this, again, emotional overload, feeling restricted when it comes to the next action. They're looking for the money, the help, a path forward, an opening to be worked on. But we have the other side again, this control, when it comes to the information and stuff and feeling embattled. Okay? And they have faced what? All these losses, the deaths. The deaths, they're out in the cold. They're looking for leadership. They can continue to get an abuse of power. And mentally, they are just, trying to, racing minds with what's going on. So again, the underlying theme of all this was moving forward. The actions, moving forward and still looking for help, okay? When it comes to the deaths, being out in the cold, so many people lost their places, etc. When it comes to leadership, there's an abuse of power and just this mental racing happening, okay? So they're not getting the help they need. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling abused, overwhelmed, and they want answers, okay? So that's what I'm getting with what's going on in Texas. A whole lot of nothing when it comes to actually getting the help that they need, and a whole lot of covering up. Talk about anything else, but don't talk about what's happened in Texas, okay? So on that note, I'll leave that here. Just a sad, this government has been, that it's all about them. That's it. They don't care about the people. They don't care about any of it. Just protecting Trump. And the wealthy, and the rest of them can go pound sand. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We can't wait till the new administration, till we get it in here and can start getting things cleaned up and fixed up yet again.